So in number 4, since this is a right triangle, we know that angle C is 90 degrees, and side C is the side opposite that right angle, and so the hypotenuse is the square root of 17. Then the other angles, A and B, we can label interchangeably. Angle A is given as 39 degrees. Side A has to be opposite, and we use capital letters for angles and lowercase letters for sides. Angle B then is opposite side B. And if we want to find angle B, and we know there's 180 degrees in a triangle, then 180 minus 90 minus 39 gets us angle B, which will be 51 degrees. So angle B is 51 degrees. That's the Triangle Sum Theorem that says that all the angles in a right triangle add up to 180, and then minus the 90 makes A and B complements. So the trig ratio to find a missing side, we'll go ahead and start by finding side A, and we know the hypotenuse, so we could use either sine or cosine to find A. I'll go ahead and just do the sine. So the sine of 39 degrees is the opposite, which is A, over the hypotenuse, square root of 17. So we'll multiply both sides by root 17, and we get root 17 times the sine of 39 degrees is equal to A. And in the calculator, we want to make sure that we're in degree mode, and then square root of 17 sine of 39 is 2.5947, and it says to round answers to 2 decimal places when needed. So A will be approximately 2.59. Okay, then to find side B, I could either do the cosine of A, or I could do the sine of angle B. So I'll go ahead and do the sine of angle B. So the sine of 51 degrees is equal to the opposite, which is side B, divided by the square root of 17, which is the hypotenuse. I'll multiply both sides by the square root of 17, and then in my calculator, I'm going to evaluate square root of 17 times the sine of 51 degrees, and rounding to 2 decimal places, that's approximately 3.20. So my last side is approximately 3.20. Okay, then in problem number 5, my right angle is angle C, then my hypotenuse is little letter c. If this is my angle A, then the side opposite that is lowercase a, and that's given as 6. My angle B is given as 28 degrees, and then opposite that would be lowercase b. So to use the Triangle Sum Theorem to find my angle A, which is the missing angle, I'll take 180 minus 90 minus 28, and we get 62. So angle A is 62 degrees. And now we're going to use a trig ratio to find a missing side. So last time I did sine both times. This time we'll go ahead and do cosine just to mix it up a little bit. So if I do the cosine of, let's see, we'll do cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we'll do the cosine of 28 is 6 over c. That'll find our hypotenuse for us. And we're going to multiply both sides by c. So c times the cosine of 28 degrees is equal to 6. And then to get the c by itself, we'll divide both sides by the cosine of 28 degrees. So c is exactly 6 divided by cosine of 28 degrees, and then we're going to put that in the calculator in degree mode and round to 2 decimal places to get 6.80. So c, our hypotenuse, is approximately 6.80. Okay, then to use a trig ratio to find another missing side, if I wanted to do side B using the adjacent side here to 28 degrees, that would be tangent. So tangent of 28 is equal to the opposite, which is B, divided by the adjacent, which is 6. So I'll multiply both sides by 6 to get B by itself, and then we'll evaluate that in the calculator. So 6 tangent of 28 is 3.19. Okay, then in number 6, again, our right angle is always capital C in a right triangle, so that's 90 degrees. The little letter c is the hypotenuse, that's opposite the right angle. Then angle A is opposite side A, and that's given as 2. And then angle B is opposite side B. So I'm going to need to use the Pythagorean theorem since I know 2 sides and I need to find the remaining third side. So 2 squared plus b squared is equal to 6 squared. And that means b squared is 36 minus 4. We'll square root both sides, and b is the square root of 32. And 32 is 2 times 16. 16 is 2 times 8. 8 is 2 times 4. 4 is 2 times 2. So we have 2 pairs of 2's and a 2. So b is exactly 4 square root of 2. And we want to give answers that are exact simplifying radicals, it says in our directions, only rounding when needed. So since we can give an exact value for b, we're not going to put that in the calculator to get a decimal approximation. So now we can use an inverse trig function to find a missing angle. And since I know the opposite and the hypotenuse for angle A, I could do the sine for angle A is equal to 2 over 6. Then I take the inverse of both sides, the sine inverse, which is also called the arc sine. And so angle A is exactly equal to the arc sine of 1/3, and we'll put that in the calculator in degree mode. So second sine brings up the arc sine, and then 1/3 is 19.47 if we're rounding to 2 decimal places. And then the triangle sum theorem, since we know 2 of the angles in the triangle, we can find the third by subtracting from 180. So 180 minus 90 minus 19.47, which that was a decimal approximation, so this answer will also be, and we'll have 180 minus 90 minus 19.47 is 70.53 degrees.